Hey everybody, Jeff Simillion, real estate entrepreneur in Boston, Massachusetts, coming live to you with this video. Wanted to introduce myself, wanted to talk about what I have going on, wanted to talk about primarily about cannabis and a cannabis company that I recently started in Boston, and we plan on opening up a dispensary and maybe more, and also even possibly cultivation as well. All those things are in the future. Those are all conversations we're currently having. So, like I said, I wanted to come in and introduce myself and talk to the people about that, and introduce what we have going on and why I'm involved in cannabis and so on and so forth. So, like I said, primarily I'm a commercial real estate broker. Have a company in Boston, primarily Mattapan. We service the urban demographic in Boston, the small businesses, small tenants, mom and pops, who's pretty much looking for a hand and trying to understand and trying to navigate through the process of obtaining commercial leases, whether it's a retail space, office space, whatever it is, you name it. We pretty much hand to hand help clients with that. We also work with national brands. Done deals with Dunkin' Donuts, Papa John's, Metro PCS, just to name a few, so on and so forth. But primarily reason I'm here is that last year I got introduced to an attorney from one of my tenants. One of the clients that I was helping with obtaining a commercial space, and she introduced me to an attorney who pretty much helped me out with the application process to submit to the city of Boston to allow me to become a EE applicant. For most people that know that what the EE applicant is, for economic empowerment, for the war on drugs that's been affected, certain communities, and if you live or own a business, or they had a checkbox of certain requirements that if you meet, you would be able to obtain that certificate and be allowed to have priority to open up a dispensary. So this is the reason why, pretty much, that I was introduced to that business, and to an attorney to help me, understand that process and help me navigate and guide me through, obtaining, those rights to pretty much start a cannabis business. So, like I said, that's the reason why I wanted to come out and, speak freely and openly to people, and just let them know that's the reason I'm starting the, cannabis business. And primarily the most, what really got me going, I'm sure most of you saw this, this article when it came out, talking about Black wealth and how people, Black Bostonian is really worth $8. And that really hit me because one of the things that I realized, just being in Boston for pretty much most of my life, a lot of my friends, we went to school, we went to college, and pretty much like now I'm looking at, most of us, it's just, we all got student loans, we all trying to do this, we're all trying to better ourselves, but at the end of the day, we all got the student loans over our head. Some of us got kids, some of us have wives, some of us have cars, so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, how do we take care of those things? How do we, keep those things going? How do we keep ourselves going to where, we capable of, making things happen? So it really hit me to make me realize, like, wow, we only ain't worth $8 at the end of the day. So, how can I help myself, from coming out of this, $8 compared to what, our counterpart have, which is, anywhere from 248,000 or so. So as I realized this, and this opportunity came to me where, it's like, hey, this cannabis industry is worth in the billions in a few years. And, if you get involved in this, you could really be one of the leaders, one of the forefathers to actually put on and have this right. A lot of people's already doing this back in California, back in Colorado. So it's just like, hey, and there's not many Black people doing this too. I think there's like one person in Colorado doing this. So it was just like, hey, here's the opportunity. in Boston, where you live, and plus one of the main thing was being able to locate a commercial area. I mean, a commercial space that met the requirements, which so happened to be my field, what I'm currently doing. So it just happened to be a blessing where all these things is happening in my life at the same time, where I was pretty down about this $8 thing, and just knowing that like a lot of us are going through that process, and then like, hey, there's an opportunity where I could possibly open up a business where I could employ my people, where I could employ my friends, my family, people from the community, so on and so forth. So like I said, it was a no-brainer. So like I said, I started the process. I went through the process, got the application in, hired some attorneys, and just basically started learning. I think this was about like 3 years ago when this whole thing started. And it's interesting because, like I said, it started 3 years ago, but I was getting calls like 5, 6 years from people from Colorado, like, hey, we're looking to cultivate cannabis in Boston, so on and so forth. But again, I didn't really know what was going on if we were going to get to that point, you know what I mean, like 6 years ago. So, and like I said, as time progresses, and I'm meeting more people, I'm getting smarter, and then that's kind of like the thing is just the more people the more information you have. So like I said, so the moment that I realized that well, this is opportunity that I could put myself in this position to learn, to create and provide opportunities, especially in my community, especially to my community, to my peoples. I was like, this is a no-brainer. So since then, I've pretty much been aligning myself with the right people that's been in that industry, that got experience in that industry, to basically help me gain the knowledge and to navigate, to make it happen. The key thing was commercial real estate, finding a space that meet those requirements, which I say you can't be near a school, church, so on and so forth, a couple of things. And I understood those things, and I was able to find me a couple of locations for myself, and was able to submit a letter of intent. And I also helped some other individual find a location for their business as well. And one of the location happened to be Dorchester, which Carbon Square, which is where I grew up. So to me, it was a no-brainer. So submitted a letter of intent, to some investors, and put the tie the property down for me to basically just do through that process. And it's a long process with dealing with the city of Boston to get approved, because this is a new business. There's a lot of regulations, taxes. Obviously, Uncle Sam got to get his, the city got to get theirs, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of rules, a lot of games, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of procedures that have to play into it. A lot of politics, a lot of nonsense that obviously the white man's trying to get his. Everybody's trying to get theirs. So it's basically how you make it happen. So at the end of the day, as we going through the process, currently I'm going through the process right now. So it's just all about being patient, understanding, and seeing what's going on, and basically putting yourself in a position to, I've been putting myself in a position to see if I can get approval, or if I'm gonna make it happen. So so that's pretty much in a shell what's going on with me. This is a process that's been, like I said, it's been lengthy. So it's been a couple of years now since I've been learning and trying to go through that process, because like I said, there's a lot of stipulations involved as far as how much money you need to have, how much money it costs to build, hire an attorney, so on and so forth, holding a property down. So there's a lot of, what do you call it? It's a long process, you know what I mean? A lot of times, people are, give up, when you have to go through these long processes. But for me, I'm in it for the long term. I'm not, just in it to say, oh, let me just try and make a few bucks, or let me see if I can get in. I'm really invested at this point. I've done a lot of things, and, just learning, just investing in myself, investing in a company, just trying to, get to the point where this could really happen. This could be something that that allowed me to change the world, change my community, change lives, provide living wages, jobs, you know what I mean? Provide, like I said, high paying jobs, provide, quality paying jobs for people who within this community, within Mattapan, within Dorchester, within, whatever other neighborhood that I'm allowed or I get the opportunity to open up a dispensary. When you look at it, certain areas you go into, you see who's working there, who's the managers, who's running the show. So my goal is to try to have a company where we are doing the same thing. We running the show. We're providing great customer service. We're providing great service. We know our product. We happy. You walk in there, people are happy to help you with this because this is what this business is all about. Is having the opportunity to really create create a create jobs, create opportunity for everybody to be wealthy. Like if you look at the dispensaries in Brookline or some other states, like this is way ahead of time. Some of those places are way ahead of time than what we going through and trying to get into this business. So like I said, I feel like I have the advantage of getting being able to locate and negotiate a letter of intent and getting those places under agreement for me to open up a dispensary, for me to start up my company, my dispensary. So with that being said, I took advantage of that and and dive head first into this company. Into this business, into this industry, and started talking to the people that I need to talk to and learning and trying to make this happen. So as I'm in the process, like I said, I just wanted to come out, start this video, and introduce myself, introduce the company. Like I said, it's called Low Key, and some of the partners, some of the people that I'm working with that's on the team. You could check out the website lowkeydispensary.com. We also have Instagram page, Low Key Dispensary, that you could check us out for some information. But like I said, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. Commercial real estate broker. I own a company in Massachusetts, in Boston. We represent owners, tenants. We're just trying to negotiate, trying to get everybody into a space for their business and, trying to level up the community. So that's pretty much what I'm about. That's pretty much who I am. Anybody knows me. Grew up in Dorchester. Live, for some part of my life in Milton. Own a business in Mattapan now. I've been doing real estate for about 7 to 8 years now. And like I said, making the transition. I'm excited to actually go into this cannabis world and really have an effect on a lot of lives. There's a lot of health benefits, from using the plants, from using cannabis, CBD, and there's also great opportunity for everybody to really become wealthy and make some things happen. So like I said, as I move forward in this process, hope you guys follow along and see what's going on, and I'll try to keep my Instagram page updated with what's going on. Like I said, currently we're just still waiting to do a presentation. We recently did one not too long ago, in September, and like now just waiting for that process to come in, for us to take it to the next level. Thank you for watching. Feel free to, like I said, check out our page, check out our website. If you have any questions, reach out. Yes, again, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in.